On this episode, redneck air conditioning and an awesome desert thunderstorm. This is Desert Homestead Prepping. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Alright, so we finally made it back out to the property. We're going to be out here for about a week. We have not been able to make it out here pretty much all summer except to just drop off some supplies here and there. I've had a lot going on back at home and things that were very demanding, so we were not able to make it out here. So, obviously our garden didn't do too well. As all of you guys know, you can't just plant a garden and walk away from it. Even if you do have a watering system, it still needs to be tended and taken care of. And we knew that, but with the obligations that we've had back at home, we decided that we just wouldn't worry about the garden this year. And the main thing that we had to make sure of was that our trees were good. So you can see our fruit trees right here. They're doing excellent. The watering system that we've set up for the trees, we've had that for years, so it has worked out really good for us. We've got that dialed in so that we don't have problems with that. So we got quite a few odd and end projects that we're going to do out here this week. Not one specific project, but quite a few little things that I've had to finish up. Things are a little different this time because, I've had many videos with just Abby and my wife, but this time it's just me and the boys. So Abby and my wife are off on vacation. They're off in Wisconsin visiting family. So we get the chance to be out here with an all guys trip. So we're gonna hopefully be able to find some fun things to do, and with it being so hot in the summer, our first priority is setting up air conditioning. We'll show you how we go about setting that up. It looks like we have got some rain out here because these tanks are plumb full. And I'm looking around and things look kind of green in the background. So we must have been getting some rain out here, where back in town we haven't had any rain for months. So I'll show you what we have on the trailer. Of course, every time we come out here, we got the trailer loaded. So I got a whole bunch of free wood, and I don't know where we're gonna put it, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, so this is the wood that we got, and it's a lot of odd and end pieces. It'll be kind of hard to use some of it for building, so these smaller ones will be used for firewood, and there's still quite a few usable lengths. But free wood, I'm not going to pass that up. And then of course we got some plywood and OSB, and we're just going to have to figure out where we're going to unload all this and keep it out of the elements. We might have to just build ourselves another shed to house all our wood. We'll use our wood to build a shed to hold our wood. All right, we're gonna get going on setting up some AC. All right, we're ready to put the swamp cooler on the kids' trailer. So this trailer we actually got for free. It's nothing special. Maybe we'll have to go back and do a video of when me and Gabe actually went through this whole thing and cleaned it all up and got it so that it was livable for the kids to be able to stay in. But anyway, so the way that we keep this trailer cool is with a swamp cooler. And the swamp cooler is fed by a 22-gallon barrel, and we fill that up every 2 days or so, and it works really good for keeping their trailer nice and cool. So the swamp cooler, we'll get that set up. So how does the swamp cooler work? How do you guys think it does?
No, it works. It's just you gotta close every window except for the farthest one, so then it can vent through the whole trailer.
Yeah, and that's the way a swamp cooler is designed to work. Is it's actually, it's actually taking water and putting it on these pads, and the fan will pull the air through these pads that are moist, and it will actually do what's called a transfer of heat. So the warm air outside will go through those moist pads, and it will pull the cool air, or pull the coolness off that water and blow it through there. And so the way it's working is it's pulling air from the outside and blows it through the structure and out whichever window you have open. So he'll open the window at the very end, and it'll blow cool air through this whole thing. So I don't know where all my viewers are from. In other places, like back east, or I don't know, Florida, Texas, a swamp cooler is unheard of. They don't work. They only work in a dry desert climate because it's using moisture in those pads to be able to cool the air. Now, if it gets really humid for some reason, then the swamp cooler doesn't work anymore, because you're already pulling humid air through pads, and it's not going to work that well. That's why you only find them in desert climates like Southern California, Nevada, and here in Utah. So we're going to get it set up. It's nothing pretty. I mean, we got ourselves a couple pallets that we've pieced together to support this unit, and we just set it up in the window and make sure it's secured, and that's pretty much it. It's worked really well for years to keep these kids cool and comfortable throughout these hot summer days. So we're gonna grab it and bring it on over here and get it stuck in the window. Well, this is it. Like I said, nothing fancy or special. Just got the water tank up top. It's it's wired to it, so it won't blow around if it goes empty, and then it's mounted in the window. Got some wood up there that kind of keeps it sandwiched in place. But yeah, this works really good for them, for their trailer, and keeps them all nice and cool. Yep, that's it. Like I said, the barrel will last 2.5, 3 days, depending on how much they use it. So it's not really too big of a hassle. We'll just drag the hose over and top it off, and good to go for a little while. I'm gonna have to get another setup like this put on the cabin over here. So as you can see, I got this window mount AC. It's really small. There's just no way it's going to keep up with that whole cabin. So I'm going to do a similar thing to this and get it set up on the cabin at some point. I'm hoping to do it this time, but we'll see if I have enough time to get to it. Well guys, we've been having a great time out here at the property, getting a lot done, really working hard. There's quite a few other odd and end jobs that we had to do while we were out here this last week. Had to do some work on Gabe's motorbike. his motorbike was kind of sputtering, being kind of weird, so he had to rebuild his carburetor. We had to actually pull it apart a couple times and adjust the float height and clean some of the jets, and you know, we just really had to try and get that in working order. So we worked on that. We got all the air conditioning set up. The issue with the AC unit that we have here in the cabin is it just won't keep up with the heat. It does fine for the one room. I could shut the door, but it only keeps that one room cool, and I don't sit there and just hang out in that room. You know, we're in here eating lunch and talking, and you know, we're reading the Bible in the living room area and stuff. So that first day I knew it wasn't going to work, so I set up another swamp cooler in the window of the cabin. So let me show you what we got going on with that. Alright, so here is our swamp cooler setup. So I had to build this little platform out of the wood that we had on the trailer. Praise God for free wood. Those little odd and end pieces that I didn't think I would really have a use for were perfect to be able to construct this platform. So the swamp cooler, it just needed a little bit of cleaning out and some adjustment on the pads. But the tank that I'm using for this is actually an old water tank from a 1970s trailer. We gutted it and made it into a storage trailer for my wife, because she has a craft store, and so she can have all her seasonal crafts in the storage trailer. And this tank came out of it. So it's not pretty, you know, it's got the fill spout right here, and it's got still some of the hoses on here that I'm gonna have to pull off. But what's weird about it is back then it wasn't common to have a water pump. So the way that it worked was you had this air pump that would actually pressurize this tank and force the water to the sink for your little trailer unit for your kitchen area. So it's got this pressure gauge on here, and what you would do is this would be mounted under the cabinet, and you would just pump this thing and fill up this tank with pressure, and it would pressurize it and be able to push the water through the pipes. Pretty smart how they came up with it. So I've had this sitting around for a while and thinking that I would just use it as a water tank of some sorts. I didn't want to use it as a tank for drinking water because it's aluminum, and it's, you know, aluminum's just not good for you know, to be consumed. There's lots of research that says that aluminum is not good for our immune system and our bodies. So it works perfect as a water storage tank for the swamp cooler. And so we just set up this little spout right here, and that's where the tube feeds the float inside this cooler. So it's working good. It's dripping a little water because Gabe just barely topped off the tank, but it seems like it's doing really good. And I'm gonna have to come back and kind of beautify it. Probably gonna cut this spout down closer to the tank so it doesn't stick out so far, and, you know, take the pump off there and all these tubes. But yeah, so that's what's working for keeping the cabin cool. It's doing okay with all the rain that we've had out here. It's been pretty humid, so the swamp cooler's not working as efficiently as it would in the dry season, but it's way better than nothing, and keeps it much cooler in the cabin than if we didn't have anything. that wraps it up for this video. I'll leave off with a short video of some of the thunderstorms that we had out there at the property. This is one extremely close lightning strike, and I'll break it down at the end frame by frame for you guys to check it out. It's pretty amazing. Holy crap. Alright, time to head inside. We wish you the best and hope you're having a great summer. Take care.